But one of the things that we do, which is the most unique, is our signature Evans College Incentive Program. Working with local high schools and nonprofit partners, we seek out 50 to 60 high school seniors from around Monterey County who are unlikely to go on to college, and we shine a light on their potential. We specifically look for students who are often labeled at risk, young people who, due to circumstances outside of their control, are at risk of losing their way. These students are from economically disadvantaged households, the vast majority of first-generation college students, some whose parents didn't even get to complete high school. And they face a range of other challenges that contribute to low educational attainment, including living in foster care or substandard housing situations, learning English as their second language, being surrounded by negative social influences. The list goes on. Statistically speaking, their outlook is grim. But on the other side of these risk factors is a young adult full of potential and promise, and that's what we invest in. We use the combination of cool hard cash to incentivize them to enroll full-time at MPC, and we wrap them in a warm blanket of supportive services. We help them transition into college students through a variety of activities, but most importantly, we show them that someone believes in them, and we light the path forward to a better future. And while they don't all make it to the finish line right away, their lives are forever changed. In a few moments, you're going to hear one of those student stories, and I would like you to remember that none of what we do would be possible without your support. We are only able to light the path because of your contributions. So now I'd like to introduce the beautiful Danixia Ortiz, one of the many students who benefited from our college incentive program. Danixia, please come on up. Danny worked incredibly hard while she was at MPC, and we're so proud of her, and she was willing to come back and speak to you today about her experience. So let's give a warm round of applause.
All right. Hello, good evening, everybody. Before I dive into what I have prepared to say, I would like to quickly thank everyone for their time and generosity as we sit here today, enjoying these delicious meals with beautiful scenery. I would especially like to thank Beccie Michael for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Danixia Ortiz. Most call me Danny, however, I am indifferent to either. Like my name, my upbringing and childhood was different from most. I come from a disadvantaged background and have overcome many adversities on my journey this far. I was raised in a low-class neighborhood in Reno, Nevada. I spent most of my living years in this city. My family consisted of my grandparents, my one little sister at the time, and myself. My mother was a part of my life, but oftentimes she spent her days hanging with the wrong crowd and getting into trouble. Her absence never seemed to affect me. I had my grandmother, and she was all I needed. In March of 2014, I lost my grandmother to cancer. I remember sitting there as she took her last breath, and after that, every element of my body was numb, year after year. With the lack of a guardian, it was my mother's time to step up. Soon after my grandmother passed away, we lost our home. This home was all I knew, for I had grown up in this home for 9 years. But with the blink of an eye, it was gone. This in turn left my mother, my 5 siblings, and myself homeless for many years to come. I remember having to sleep in the car, and when we were lucky, in motels or on a friend's couch. My mother became addicted to drugs and oftentimes would leave us alone for a few days. I was now a freshman in high school, and I realized that I could not keep going to school for the sake of my siblings. For 3 months, I fed my siblings, took them to school, and tried my best to keep them safe despite the circumstances. Eventually, I went back to school. However, because I had missed so much, I was very behind on my credits, and I guess you could say I was lost. I had no hope of graduating high school, let alone hope to go to college. The idea of higher education seemed crazy since I wasn't even sure I would graduate high school. In November of 2017, beginning junior year, my family and I relocated to Santa Cruz, California for a chance at a fresh start. For the first few months, I didn't attend school. I was immersed in the move, became homesick, and was trying to get accustomed to this new reality that I had been set in. along with so much that was already happening, I developed a strained relationship with my mother. One day, my mother and I got into a horrible argument and some hurtful words were exchanged. This argument became physical and I became overwhelmed. I attempted to overdose and was hospitalized, and this was a major shifting point in my life. After being released from the hospital, my therapist thought that it was in my best interest to seek space for my mother and be placed with my aunt, who lived in Castroville, California. I began attending North Monterey County High School during my junior year, and after adjusting, I excelled in many of my classes. I was now getting A's and B's instead of my regular D's and F's. I received my first honors award that year. I joined a sports medicine club and was really into performing arts. I also began working at a nearby restaurant, and things in life seemed to finally be going well. My work ethic for academics carried over into my senior year. I continued to excel in my classes all around, especially in my calculus class. One day, my math teacher approached me during class and told me that she was going to nominate me for the Evans College Incentive Program at MPC. Mind you, college still wasn't on my radar, but I was struck with happiness that someone saw the potential in me and was willing to vouch for my education. Sometime later, she delivered the news that I had been accepted into the program, along with some more information about the program. And when it was time to apply for college, I applied to MPC. Not because I had a scholarship with my name on it, but because I felt like this was where I belonged. I spent the summer of 2019 attending their Jumpstart program that allowed me to prepare myself for my time at MPC. Here, I met new friends, a new set of faculty so focused on supporting us, and my Evans family. My first year, I focused on my grades. I became a part of the EOPS program at MPC, where I met my mentors and was provided with a great amount of guidance in order to succeed in college. I am a first-generation student, so a lot of what I know now was because the staff at MPC helped pave my way. The financial support I got from the MPC Foundation meant I could buy my first car to get to school and back. I used to ride the bus, and because I had night classes, I often found myself getting home at 10 o'clock at night. I thought a car would be the safest investment to make with this funding, and it was. I was also able to set aside some money to pay for my first semester at San Jose State and the required textbooks for my classes. During my second and final year at MPC, I was offered an internship from the MPC Foundation, where I focused on becoming a peer mentor for current and incoming Evans students with my partner, Daniel. I was able to help other first-generation students navigate their way through college and this new chapter of their lives. However, eventually, it was time to leave the Lobo Pack. I graduated from MPC in 2021 and received my Associates for Transfer in Administration of Justice. Recently, I transferred to San Jose State University with a major in criminology to pursue my bachelor's and a career in forensic investigations. Your generosity and my personal experiences have inspired me to help others and give back to the community. Because of my high school teacher, Ms. Tynan, and my college mentors, Daisy, Victor, and Juliana, I stand before you enabled with opportunity and fueled with motivation. But because of you, I am able to use that motivation to work towards a sense of purpose and security. You have allowed me to continue my education studying for something I feel so passionate about and have impacted countless others and myself with your kindness. Each and every one of you sitting here today has changed the life of a student for the better, and it is because of you that we continue to push and strive for the opportunity towards a better future. Thank you.